Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It's a new year and a new episode of the Blizz Show. I'm Ben Carlson. I'm joined by my co-host, as always, Jack Sternhaus, and our special guest this week, Blizzard forward Riley Meyer. How are you guys doing today?
Doing pretty well, Ben. How about yourself?
I'm good. Riley, how about you?
Great. Doing awesome.
So, it's been a while since the last Blizz Show. We have a lot to talk about, especially an exciting game last weekend against the Grand City Lumberjacks, which came away on the plus side of the Blizzard. So let's start with that. 3-2 win in OT. It was a tight game. You guys had the kind of commanding lead in the first period, and then things kind of came back towards Granite's favor. So kind of go back and talk about what you guys saw on the ice those first couple periods and what you guys felt was strong on your end.
We started a little slow, I'd say, the first period, but we did score 2 goals, so we capitalized on the opportunities we did have. We actually had a shorthanded goal, which is good, from Brett. And then Nick Lucas also scored, so that also shows that we have some depth on our team. So we had 2 key players out this weekend. We had Logan Nelson, who got called up to Brookings Blizzard, and then Emil, who is battling an injury. Hopefully he'll be back this week. But 2 big scores out of the lineup, and we still came with the W, which shows our depth that we have in our team.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm guessing this is actually the first Blizz Show we've had. Both of our guests have actually scored in that last game. You had an assist. Obviously, Jack, and you were assisting on the OT goal. So, what did you guys see on those plays that really helped you guys?
I guess in the first period, puck came out to me, and I saw we had some traffic out in front, so I just ripped a shot to Nick Lucas, who had a really good tip, and it went in. So it was just good team play, good tip on his part, good job being alert in front of the net. So a good play out by him, and then Riley scored in overtime.
Assist.
Or assist, I mean.
Yeah.
So.
On that OT goal, so basically I came down with Nielsen. We were coming down to 2-on-1. He slid over to me. The defenseman kind of got a little bit of a stick on it, went right over the net. And so me and Josiah just went behind the net and was able to get the puck to him. He stepped out. Nielsen was wide open in the slot and buried her home. So it was a great overall team play right there. And really, great play by Josiah to make that slide over instead of shooting it himself. So.
Yeah, and from where I was sitting, it looked kind of like a offensive and defensive lapse for Granite City. They kind of all crashed into the offensive zone, and that gave you guys that break that
Definitely.
You guys capitalized.
Definitely.
Obviously, it's kind of great to have this win against the Western Conference rival, especially when you're kind of trailing them in standings. I know we're 8 games back of Granite with 2 games to go, but obviously anything could happen.
Yep.
Obviously, Breezy was up at the top and is now taking kind of a tumble, but kind of going with that is this rivalry, and obviously the Western Conference being as tight as it is. Do you guys look at these games a little bit different than if you were facing, say, Rochester or North Iowa out of conference?
Yeah, every game we play against Granite, I think we always play a really physical game. Everybody's giving it their full effort. Bray Efforts is always great in net there, and we're playing a really defensive game, and it's always just a grind out there. It's always a really physical battle, and so when we play our best physical game is normally when we take over, and so I think that's what we did on Saturday night, and we just gave it everything we had, and that's where we got the W. So.
Yeah, talk a little bit about, obviously, Bray last weekend, 31 shots against, he had 29 saves, only let 2 goals. He was a top player last weekend, obviously, in the NA3HL. How comfortable are you guys knowing that you have that kind of security blanket behind you between the pipes with Bray?
Very comfortable. Bray's doing a great job, especially against Granite City. I feel like he just puts everything out on the line for them, and he's just been really good for us, a solid goaltender, and we can really trust that he'll make that first stop or the first 2 saves, and we can clear it up for him, and so he's just been awesome in that.
Yeah, no complaints there. He did let up 2 goals, but that first goal was definitely not his fault. That was a defensive lapse we had, so we can't blame him for that. And then they also scored a power play goal for the second goal, which is another thing you can't blame Bray. So that both falls on the team and not him, actually. So he's been playing really well. We cannot complain with his performance on the ice.
Yeah, and it's obvious the NA3HL is full of great goalies. Obviously, we think Bray should be a little bit higher in the top goalie standings, but he's been rock solid for us, and actually the backups have been really rock solid for us too. So solid goaltending is definitely a major key to our success this season. Audio sync, 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1. Welcome back, Blizzard fans. Again, our guest is Blizzard forward Riley Meyer. We brought him on because Riley had kind of a big life moment happen to him in these last couple weeks. Riley recently committed to Hamline University to play hockey next season. So Riley, what kind of drew you to Hamlin, and what are you looking forward to most going there?
The thing that drew me to Hamlin most is probably the location. Being close to home is awesome. I've been gone, on the road for the last 3 years, so coming back to St. Paul is going to be really nice for my folks, too, to be able to come down to games and stuff like that. Only 35 minutes away from my house, so it's going to be really nice if I need to go home for something or whatever. Also, it's a great business school. I'm hopefully going to be medical sales is most likely going to be going into, so the business school there is awesome. The coach there is awesome. Coach Leyland has, been with me every step of the way. We've talked a lot over the last couple weeks or the last couple months, and it just felt right going there, and that's the school I wanted to play for. So I knew right away that after my visit that's the university I want to play hockey for.
So if the coaches kind of talk to you a little bit about what you're going to be doing for them coming in?
My role, right out of the gate, is going to probably be just bringing my physical game. I'm a big body and a big forward, so being a power forward for them would be great. So that's mostly my role is going to be for this year.
And obviously you're tied for second in terms of team goals right now. Kind of go through that. How have you been able to find the back of the net so far? What have you been approaching each game with?
I just go into every game, try to have fun. My line mates have just been awesome getting me the puck and, just trying to position myself in the right spot to, put the puck in the back of the net. And I've been having a lot of success with that this season. So.
Well, Riley, we wish you nothing but the best as you move forward in Hamlin.
Thank you.
And obviously you guys have played New Ulm a couple times before. You play them pretty well. It's a pretty even matchup. But what are you guys taking as you got back-to-back games against them in a home and away series? So what are you guys looking at there? And
Friday night's going to be another big game, being home again with the energy here that we have at our barn. We always play really good at home, so that's a nice advantage for us. Saturday night's going to be a little bit more of a battle going down there just because, we're on the road. We got a little bit of a road trip that day, and as well as they have an Olympic-sized sheet of ice, and they really know how to play there. So, defensively, we got to play a little bit smarter. That's one thing that I think I took away from the game that we played down there last time was that they play really good on their sheet of ice, and they really know how to work out the walls. And so with that big of a sheet of ice, as long as we're defensive, I think we'll be able to handle them pretty well.
And going off of that, they're also they've won 6 of their past 7, so they're figuring it out as well, and they're trying to catch up to us in the standings. So I guess at the end of the day, we just have to show them that we're better than them.
And obviously you guys have talked about the fan support here in this home barn. I know the stat line right now since October is you guys have only had 1 home loss since October. So how does that kind of play into this factor? Do you guys feed off that fan support here and that energy here at the barn?
Yeah, for sure. When there's big hits, the crowd gets into it, which really gives the Blizzard some energy, and it's just really nice to be here. They have our back no matter what, and I think that's part of the reason why we pulled out that overtime win, because the fans are so into it, cheering us on. It comes down to them just supporting us.
Definitely.
So obviously we got a couple more months left in this season before playoffs. Obviously we want to win every game, but there's definitely some winnable games against some teams that aren't necessarily playoff eligible at this point. So how are you guys going to be attacking the rest of the season in order to make playoffs and kind of get that run going?
I think we're just going to take it one game at a time. Just focus on that next opponent and just, work our way up as fast as possible and as quick as possible. And, Granite City is always going to be, we got one more game there, I think, this year in the regular season. And so, attacking them, getting that W down there is going to be huge for us. And going into playoffs, really solid is going to be nice.
Yeah, and then also just we're really focusing on the team game, which is helping us. We've really been focusing on playing our position, not worrying about how we're doing personally, stat-wise and stuff, which is showing on the ice because we're winning some key games lately. So we'll just have to keep that going and just keep playing as a team and putting everything on the line to make sure we can come up with 2 points at the end of the day.
Yeah, this one game at a time scenario has worked out well for us so far, so let's keep it going.
Definitely.
Fans, thank you guys for joining us for another great episode of the Blizz Show. As always, I'm Ben Carlson, joined by my co-host Jack Sternhouse and our special guest Riley Meyer for this week. Guys, do you have anything else to say before we close this out?
Go Blizzard.
Stay classy, Alexandria.
Bye, guys. Thanks for watching.